To the top left of the map, with a victory over Marine King, putting a point on the scoreboard for Team FXO. It is the Protoss player in red.
FXO Choya.
Choya.
And his opponent at the bottom right, his first appearance on camera for his team, a Zerg player for the Prime team. His ID is
Terror Prime.
Terror. To be honest, in the booth, he's not so terrifying.
He looks a little bit horrified.
But he may be the guy you don't want to face on the ladder. You may see that ID and get a little bit scared.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as Dark Knight 13 or Dark Knight 13 XX on the ladder as well, but
Shadow Killer.
Shadow Killer.
Ninja Assassin.
Ninja Assassin.
Nightmare 1337.
Nightmare 1337. Don't forget about
Hunter 66.
Snake Eyes 21. This is going to be a cannon by Choya. He's cannoning here. This is really well done. He hides his probe behind the mineral line. And Terror is he's gonna find himself terrified when he sees those cannons attacking because he has no scout, he's got no overlord in position. He will, when he sees the forge, be able to go and check, but it's gonna be close.
This guy has some balls. Look at that. He's going for a very late pool. Not only does he go hatch first, but he goes for the gas and then for the pool. So we have definitely a cannon built here by Choya, and I feel that Terror's reign in his first Heart of the Swarm match could be a short one.
Yeah, there will be no reign of terror. It's gonna be a Choya surprise here. Even after seeing the forge, he doesn't check. This is clearly a lack of experience. I mean, this is as blatant as it gets. He should be pulling all of his drones right now. You think Choya's just going to make a forge and make a cannon and before his Nexus, you are crazy, Terror.
Terror has to cancel.
He absolutely does. He wants to wait for both the cannons to finish first.
He has to cancel.
He will cancel. Yeah. He wants to see if he can get the third one up, but he doesn't.
Okay, here we go. There have been crazy Zergs around who think they can hold a hatch like this. It never worked.
Especially not with how late his pool was since he went gas first. He doesn't have enough lings, and his queen's too late.
He goes one base now.
Yeah, he's going to have to basically do something like that. With all the gas he's mined, he can't really take a hidden third. What if Choya cannons that one too?
The big problem also is that the third base is a long way from the main base, so defending this is not going to be easy, especially with such a late pool. We talked about this already. Yep. We have the expansion now coming up for Choya, and of course this early game is in his advantage. I mean, everything is going fine now. Usually as a Zerg play against Protoss these days in Heart of the Swarm, what you want to do is either go for a Mutalisk build or you try to go into the Swarm host option, but in this scenario, Terra is just trying to do his best with one base play. He doesn't even try to take a second base now.
Yeah. This is going to probably be a Nidus. Well, I mean, he's getting a Roach Warren, so we could see something really weird, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a Nidus. That's why he has the lair. And
it's going to be interesting, at least. I think a Nidus network is the only thing that makes sense, and there it is.
I think Choya, once he sees there's no remake on the hatch, he will well, actually, he's going to go in here and see the Nidus. The queen is not ready.
Yeah, the queen is not ready. He sees already that we have a lair attack. He's going to see the Nidus.
This game is a little bit weird. Choya, if I were him, I would just start a Mothership Core and put pylons on the edges of my base.
Yeah, he has the probes in position. There is no chance that Terra can set up a Nidus network without being scouted.
In the front, maybe, that isn't seen, and then attack the wall, but even that is going to be difficult. I think that's what his plan is with Roach Speed. There it is.
Yeah, there we have it at the front, not scouted just yet. No units for Choya. He's now getting his first Stalker. He has double cannon.
Yeah, no Mothership Core, so that's not going to be something he can use to defend here. He doesn't see the Nidus. And here we go. Mothership Core now started for Choya, but he only has 2 cannons. I'm a little bit surprised by this.
The problem is you don't have the production on one base with the queen this late.
Yeah, and the queen, did she even hit an inject? Yeah, 1 inject.
Another attempt to get a Nidus up in the main base, and this is what he has to hope for. But yeah, 1 Roach, 2 Roaches, 3 Roaches, a lot more than I expected.
Yeah, this is actually a little bit problematic for him because he's going to have to lose probes here to defend.
But the targeting is not good for Terror. He doesn't target well.
Yeah.
But he sends in another one.
Another Nidus. Notice that new animation on the minimap that lets you know where a Nidus is instantly.
Yeah,
this is too many resources lost here for him with all these failed Nidus
And now the mothership core is there. We don't just see the energy for the photon overcharge, but that's only going to be a matter of time.
And plus, the Queen is not going to be able to offer enough anti-air to really stop the mothership core easily anyways. I mean, he's going to be able to fight the Wings in the front if he wants to. There's a third cannon up.
He's building a fourth just in case, but we now have sentries coming into play. Force fields will also be a component. And we still have one base for Terra, which means that he only has a one hatch production.
And he doesn't even have Queens injecting, and he sends one Queen back now to hit that inject. But this is... He might as well pull his drones and try to spine crawler at this point if he really... I mean, if he really wants to succeed here, Roaches are not going to cut it.
Okay, Terror in his first game on camera in the GSTL, trying to go for a greedy opening, being punished by Choya, a very experienced player. But let's not forget that this guy is a rookie. It's the first time that we have him here on camera. He needed the experience, and it's, of course, pretty nervous, I would say, being on camera for the first time, being in the studio with an audience, playing against a very experienced player. And I feel that Gerard definitely wanted to give him just a little bit on airtime to give him the exposure, and introduce the new player, and also give him the chance to get the experience.
Yeah, I'm totally with you, and this is exactly why we have this talk about players and their experience all the time. And a lot of people think it's not that important, but it actually is. I mean, we're seeing it right now, just what a lack of experience can do to you. He saw a Forge and no Nexus, and he didn't check for cannons. I mean...
You have to compliment the kid. He's still trying. He's putting up the spine crawlers now. He's spread his creep forward.
He's killed the core. There's not going to be any more Cybernetics core units coming out for a little while.
But we have the Robo ready, and now the first Immortals are being built, and they will completely destroy what Terra has on the map. Choya has already started to rebuild his core to add additional gateways in his main base. He knows that there is no chance for Terra to get another Nidus network up.
Phoenix scouts here from the Hallucination, because Hallucination doesn't require research anymore in Heart of the Swarm. He will go and verify, of course, that there is no new hatchery anywhere on the map. If there's any new tech like Hydralisk coming out, is he even hitting his injects? He wants to know, and he will.
We have a second Immortal being built. The Roaches try to move in. Force fields are there. Nice micro there on the Immortal, really important. If the Immortal is down, then suddenly Terror has a lot more of a threatening force to take down Choya.
Yeah, and the Mothership Core is about to be able to use Photon Overcharge again, don't forget, so that's going to help push these spines back if he wants to put them any further forward. I think they're just out of range right now, but...
And this looks a little bit more threatening than it actually is. The key here is really that we have such a sick production for Choya in just a few seconds as soon as those gateways are done. And we only have one base production and economy for Terra, who GG's, leaves the game.
Made a good effort, you know, it was his first time in a televised match. You could see it on his face. He definitely knows that was not the game he was hoping for. And Choya, he thinks this is really funny.
I can certainly understand that Gerard put a new player out there. This is a pre-season tournament, and this is the chance that you have to give the new Zerg players a bit of experience. You want to have them ready when the GSTL season starts. Yeah. And that's your only chance to actually give them this experience, to put them into the booth and be like, okay guys, get used to this. You have to be here a lot. You are the few Zergs that we have in our lineup, and when the season starts and we need a Zerg player, it's your time to shine, so get the experience now where it's still okay to lose.
You know, I feel like there's another example of this that's like the counter example, not against what you say, but just like an opposite of how if you don't give the player the experience, it's bad. If you look at Fnatic's performance in GSTL, they had a lot of rookies on the team. They never used them, and then when it counted, when they needed a Zerg, they're like, well, we can't put him out. It's his first time. What if he gets nervous? You know, and you know, Fnatic didn't have a lot of opportunities because they were crushed most of the times they were played. But you know, if they had a preseason like this, I think they definitely would have fielded players like that. And now we have this opportunity. It's a great chance for Gerard to put players like Terror out there.
Well, the problem for Prime Team is now who's going to be the next player.
Exactly. Who are they going to pick? Are they going to put another Zerg out against Choya, someone maybe with a little bit more experience? Or are we going to see someone like Björn or someone like Creator, who has a lot of Wings of Liberty experience coming in with not as much Heart of the Swarm necessarily?
I'm not quite sure if they really bring in another Zerg player. At this point, you really want to get 1 or 2 points onto the scoreboard under your belt so that you are in a position where you can really win the match. Because if now Choya takes out the next opponent and suddenly FXO is up 3-1, And that is something that you try to avoid. Then you're one map away from being eliminated, so I feel this would take too much of a risk. Well, who's it gonna be? It's Maru!
Nice. For real this time.
Yeah, this time for real. I like it quite a lot. He's experienced now to the Swarm. He's strong. He's been playing a ton on ladder. And this is going to be a tough match for Choya.
Yeah, this is going to be... I mean, this should be as almost as one-sided as the game we saw before if Maru plays his best.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, you could really see that Choya was doing well against Marine King, but it's definitely a lot more taxing to him.
We have to find out if Choya can play the real game, the long game, because in the 2 games he's shown, he has ended it early. And Maru is not a player to die easily. He's got some of the best micro in the world, and he will defend against your all-in Choya.
Yeah, that's definitely true. The thing is, of course, against Marine King, Choya had a snipe build against Terror. He had the scout that he needed, and then was able to just capitalize on the openings that Terror gave him. Now he's up against Maru. Before we head into our next Protoss versus Terran, we have a 5-minute break, and then we'll be back with the GSTL match between FXO and Prime.
I reach out and grab it.